Yeah, man, happy to get to it. So to start it off, this is the last day of January, about to get the month of February kicked off. February brings forth the NBA All-Star weekend. This year it will be in Utah. Last week they had the starters announced for the NBA All-Star game this year. And I guess we could say a bit of a discrepancy in who the starters are. So start off with the Eastern Conference. We got Giannis, no argument there. KD, no argument there. Kyrie Irving, no argument there. Donovan Mitchell, Mr. 71, 72
No argument
was.
at all.
No argument there. Jason Tatum, everybody's looking for him to, continue his revenge tour and get back to the NBA Finals. No argument there. Then none other. Do we need to say his name? Yes, because you always have to put some respect on his name.
Never know.
15 plus straight NBA All Star. LeBron James, Lebanon. No argument there. Stephen Curry, come on, no argument there. Luca Brasi, absolutely no argument there. My MVP, the Joker, two-time reigning MVP. No argument there. Though you could argue there because I know somebody. The reason I'm not going to argue Jokic is because of who I'll save an argument for, that being Zion Williamson being named a starter. Gentlemen, if I had to pick an argument to say get him out of here, it would be Zion Williamson. Does anybody contest that, or do y'all have somebody else y'all rather see get up out of the starting lineup?
I um I definitely have a problem with maybe one or two of those, and I didn't even realize I had a problem with two until you kind of read it off. But Zion has only played in a handful of games this year. Though he's been great in those games he's played, not sure if it warrants him to be a starter. But man, if anybody paid attention to that Nuggets and Sixers matchup that happened over the weekend, you saw Joel Embiid absolutely take Jokic to school. He dropped him off. He picked him up. He asked him how his day was, and he might have got him some McDonald's on the way home. It was a complete fatherhood moment. He had his way with Jokic. Jokic could not hold him in the slightest. He got inside, uh, curls off, pick and roll, pin downs, transition threes, spot up threes, post game, left shoulder, right shoulder, between cross, mid range, take it all the way to the basket. Um, it's a travesty that that man isn't starting in the All Star game, and I think that was the first game post votes. I want to say so. He definitely sent a very strong message. I want to say he had 45 and almost 45 and 20, 45 and 18. So
Who's he? Whose place is he gonna take though?
as a starter,
47 and 18 to be exact.
Yeah.
oh yeah, I was close. So I actually
Yeah,
slighted him a couple points.
47 and
Who?
hold on, Ru. Oh, go, you go. Rock out, Dash. Just rock out.
I'm just asking who do you let go? Because are they keeping it strictly Western Conference, Eastern Conference? Because
That was gonna be my argument towards Izzo. It's just like I feel like Isaac, the Joel debate is the Joel debate or the Joel substitution. I feel like it was coming from the perspective of like, yo, get Jokic up out of here because Joel just destroyed him. But if we're judging along the parameters of East and West, it's just like he has no jurisdiction over Jokic. If we're talking about strictly who are going to be the starters for the West and who are going to be the starters for the East. Because if you say Joel needs to be in there, I think the conversation then says who you going to remove out of the East as starters.
Can't take
I feel
Giannis or
you.
KD out. Um, you know, I ain't gonna lie. Tatum might have to come take a seat, bro.
There we go. There we go. There we go. Yeah.
He might.
JT
He
Yeah.
might. He might. And
Me honestly, me personally,
averaging
just me,
31.
just me
he's
personally, I'm
averaging
gonna say
31 on the
Donovan Mitchell
season.
take
That's
a seat.
tough.
He averaging 31. And another thing,
Not
I mean, and he's hasn't missed as many games as Joel.
that's true. But
But who's the 5 on the East again?
It's
The 5 man.
It's supposed to be
5
Giannis.
man.
It's Giannis, KD, Kyrie, Donovan Mitchell,
Who-
Jason Tatum.
I didn't
I
even
would
hear
say
a
you
true
have to-
5 out there.
I would have to say like KD. Sadly, I mean, sheesh, I don't
Jason
feel
Tatum gotta
confident
sit
saying
down.
that. To be honest with you,
Slide Giannis. Jason Tatum sit down. But me
Well,
personally, not Jason Tatum.
Bro,
I would say
Tatum,
Donovan Mitchell.
31.
I say Donovan Mitchell.
can't
I say
make-
slide Donovan Mitchell.
I can't sit Jason because of the 31, but
ooh,
KD, and the
I
only
wouldn't sit
argument
Jason.
against
I would
KD
sit Donovan Mitchell.
the only argument against KD would be he's missed so many games that's starting to compile, and it's starting to the amount of games he's missed is becoming larger and larger as the weeks go on. I'm not even sure if he'll be eligible to play for the All-Star game. Hopefully he's back before then. But the only reason I could entertain KD being left off the starters list is because just the amount of games he's played, and one can make that same argument for Zion. But I think Joel Embiid being the only true 5 in the East in regards to just all-star starters, you got to start him just off of that alone.
Yeah,
True,
Joel.
do it all 5. You know, it's
Joel
hard to come back.
has played 37 games this season, and is averaging 33, 10, and 4. KD has played 39 games this season, and he's averaging 29, 6, and 5. It's just like it's what and what, like.
well, this is an issue that has to be figured out because the way the NBA is transforming, man. Like these
To
numbers
that-
are going to start being like routine. Like it's going to have to be a little bit more than just numbers at a certain point, or flip flop. Like it's going to be tighter because I see players that aren't starting that nobody even thinks about, like Domantas Sabonis and Randall, that are getting honorable mentions for starting, and it's just like their numbers are ridiculous and their play is riculous, like, and it's becoming norm and nobody cares about it. Like it's, I'm saying, like the competition
Is it-
and
is-
the numbers
But
are
I think
starting
the
to
All
get
Star
more.
game is about popularity.
Julius
as well.
Randle is averaging 24 and 10 or 24 and 11. Though those numbers are good, I don't think that just screams all-star starter, especially for where he is in the East. You're not going to put him over Kevin Durant. You're not going to put him over Giannis. You're not going to put him over Joel Embiid.
Not to
And he plays
mention,
before, so
not to mention though he's been progressing, like we're talking about from start, out the gate of the season to now, and we know Julius Randle can be streaky at times. He can have pockets where he's very high, he can have pockets where he's very low. Though if he's really killing like that and he's in a market such as like New York, I feel like if he was like really on a tear like that, you would like to believe New York fans would do right and make sure he gets in there. But I mean, it's Julius Randle trying to compete against Giannis, trying to compete against KD, Kyrie, who was the Jason Tatum. Like Julius Randle doesn't have anything about his career or his accolades that equate to those guys. If you want to make him duke it out with and I can't even see him duking it out there with Spider, Donovan Mitchell. Maybe you can give him a shot there, but before we even
that's not really how they do the voting. So it's truly dependent upon position, right? They just do front court and back court, right? So a backcourt player wouldn't have any dealings or any correlation back to the front court player. So we can't quite literally bump a backcourt player because we want to insert a front court player. We'd have to take out another front court player who plays a similar position in order to kind of ixnay him from the list. So just to put that out there.
Right.
They do separate it by front court and back court.
And because of that, Joel had to come up a little shout. But honestly, I like Zion.
So I guess if we're talking for the East, if we're looking at the East and we're talking about like that position of like 4 or 5 front court, back court, the East front court would be KD and Giannis. as to why Joel got snubbed, because your front court is Kyrie, JT, and Donovan Mitchell.
The backcourt.
I mean, the backcourt.
Your backcourt.
The backcourt is Donovan Mitchell and Kyrie, because Jason is still part of the front court.
Oh yeah, your 1 and 2 is your backcourt. 3 on is your front court. So
Yeah, so
he's trying to compete against JT, KD, and Giannis. Something all three of those guys have in common in terms of like the statue and popularity is they've all gotten to the finals before. Maybe your notoriety gets up there if people continue to see on a more national stage like the finals, Joel. Maybe
Donovan Mitchell been to the finals?
No, but he did drop 71 points this year, which is
we're the reason I said
relativeness. Okay.
No, the reason I said KD, Giannis, and JT is because they're specifically in the front court where Joel falls under the front court, who have all been to the finals at least.